So I stumbled across this incel subreddit, and let me tell you, this has some of the funniest shit I have ever seen. And just before we get into the video, I just want to say quick content warning for sexism, obviously, and then also homophobia. So this forum is on the red-pilled side of the internet. Now, if you don't know what the red pill is something from the Matrix. And the way that these people interpret it is by taking the red pill, you become aware of the issues in society and da-da-da-da, whatever. Which is true, but it's like completely skewed from the author's original interpretation. Because if you didn't know, the Matrix was written by two trans women, two trans sisters, and one of the things that taking the red pill is an allegory for is being trans and accepting that fact and like being comfortable with that. Like taking the red pill is like, yeah, life's gonna be harder, but at least I know who I am. That's part of like what that represents. But these fucking sexist, transphobic, homophobic men have taken that and appropriated it to fit their like I hate women club, which I find super fucking funny because they're too stupid to realize this. But anyways, I found the perfect post to introduce this forum to you guys. I feel as if I think and act like a woman sometimes because I care so much about what women think of me. I go to the gym and improve my looks for myself because it makes me feel more confident, but at the same time I care a lot if a woman finds me attractive or not. A lot of my value and sense of self comes from if a woman find me desirable or not. I care so much about this. What is wrong with me? So this is the energy that we're dealing with right now. So here's another banger to start off with. Not sure how much longer I can survive being sexless. It's been so long since I held a girl in my arms and we kissed and had sex. My mental health is deteriorating. People say to focus on other stuff, but how? It's a basic need. It's not a basic need, bruv. You just lack meaning in life and or don't have friends. The responses to people's questions on this are just so funny because people are such assholes. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite interactions I found on this forum. So Sexless Man here asked, do you disagree with some red pill beliefs? And then they list a bunch of red pill beliefs with a bunch of like red pill jargon that I don't feel like explaining right now because trust me, I researched this. I know what it says. It's pretty fucking stupid. But anyways, this person just goes on to list a bunch of like claims made by like red pill community that they like don't really resonate with. So this person responds, you think like a which like, yes, incredibly homophobic, but I don't know. It's just so funny to me. Here's another one that's really good. Plate farted in front of me last night. And if you don't know what plate means, because let's face it, you probably don't. A plate is a woman who you have a non-exclusive sexual relationship with, which to me just kind of seems dehumanizing because they're a person. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm not here to like criticize their logic because it's fucking flawed in every capacity. My most feminine and submissive plate did this randomly. We just finished sex. I came in her ass cheeks literally. After hitting it from the back. After she was wiping the cum off, she farted and laughed out of embarrassment. The thing is, I suspect it was done purposely, and the laugh was cover-up, like an oopsie type of laugh. I'm still wondering if it was a queef. But I've never heard a queef after sex personally. If it was a queef, then it's out of her control, and that's not masculine. I didn't make it awkward overall. I just ignored it because I wouldn't want a girl to do the same for me. Anyways, is this a shit test? Like you're going beta so a girl acts more masculine or whatever? We've gotten pretty close and intimate despite seeing each other for about 5 months now. I hope she's just not gotten too comfortable. That's a lot to unpack. That's a lot to unpack. If you're confused by what shit test means, a shit test is just like someone being purposefully shitty towards you to gauge your reaction. I just scour a bunch of incel Reddit to find out what that meant. Besides all that, the idea that farting is masculine and a bad thing and that a woman shouldn't do that, already absurd in itself because we all got a shit. We all got fucking gas up there. I fart all the time. I'm a woman. I fart all the time. But apparently that's too masculine. But the other thing that's super funny to me is that definitely was just a queef. This person was hitting it from the back. So there was a lot of air just getting repeatedly rammed up the vagina. And then afterwards there was a fart-like sound. Yeah, that was definitely a queef. But like these men are so like deluded into thinking that what was a queef, just a natural function of the human body, was a way of trying to get dominance over him. He is like so insecure in him, like in his like masculinity or himself or whatever, that he thinks a woman potentially farting or queefing is like a way to fuck with him. No, not at all. Not everything revolves around you. Now that I've explained what shit test means, we can look at this one. Shit test or no interest. So I was chatting up this girl at the gym. Initially, she was super interested, telling me about her workouts and shit, working out near me and all that. As I showed a bit of interest, it seemed like she had lost all interest. All this in a span of a couple days. Now she seems to be running away. Now I didn't do anything beta like talking too much or showing overt interest. I'm an introvert, but I'm not socially awkward or anything. Also, I look like a gangsta. I just don't talk much generally. Also, I find girls losing interest the moment I show a bit of interest. I think she's lost interest. Could it be a shit test though? First of all, whoever the fuck this is, you don't look gangsta, or whatever the fuck you meant by that. Secondly, this person is definitely just a weirdo and made the girl uncomfortable, and now she's trying to distance herself. But once again, this motherfucker is too caught up in their own delusion and just thinks it's them playing hard to get. You're probably the problem. How did we lose the battle to the woke mind virus? r/red pill banish, but r/feminism promoted, celebrated, encouraged? There's real-time social chat being promoted on Reddit with the LGBTQ flag icon at the moment, discussing the wokest wokery that ever woke the planet. But men who want to be men are banned from any kind of social discussion. This is the woke West today. How this woke mind virus become this prevalent? That's not a good sentence. With nuclear arms on all high alert right now, with men failing at universities and filling prisons, dying early, or suffering from all sorts of serious societal issues, how are we still in unison? Not self-aware enough to say, we're all on the same team, and it's maybe, just maybe, wise to lift us all up, regardless of gender. To get back to working as a team like our grandparents and great-grandparents did. The culture that won 2 world wars and survived a myriad of other issues. You mean the culture that started 2 world wars? Not survived. Y'all caused it. But that's also ignoring the fact that society back then was like way more unequal than it was now. It's just now that men still are in a dominant position above women, but they have slightly less power. That's the only difference in the context of like the different sexes. Also, there's a part towards the end of this that says crime on the rise, corruption on the rise. This idea of suppressing men and lifting women on all fronts eternally is perhaps the greatest threat to civilization known to mankind. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that was written by a straight cis white man, because what the fuck? That's the greatest threat? Sure. And of course, this tantrum is ended by the famous quote: hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. That quote isn't backed by any science or historical context. Like, I've seen that quote circulated in like men's circles. Yeah, that's just not true. That's just not true, like, at all. Like, what? I'm just at a loss for words. I don't even know how to fucking end this video, so fuck. If you like the video, click this one. Fuck. Have a good day.